right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Moviegoers left traumatized and terrorized.
We believe that the gun talk is the new sex talk.
The message from gun safety experts after a gel bead blaster goes off inside a Creve Coeur theater, pressing politicians after another deadly mass shooting downtown.
We are hard at work making sure that we deploy the necessary tools to keep St. Louisans safe every day.
Tonight, what's being done at City Hall to spark change?
Dangerous heat builds into St. Louis Tuesday afternoon. Plus, I'm tracking the potential of severe storms, when and where the storms are most likely.
And we begin at 10 with a live look at downtown St. Louis. Dangerous heat is in store for us tomorrow. We want to thank you for joining us. I'm Brent Solomon. Mike Bush and Kelly Jackson have the evening off. Well, tomorrow we're on pace for the hottest day of the season. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell because, Scott, we're looking at what, a heat advisory here.
Heat advisory goes into effect around St. Louis tomorrow at lunchtime, continues throughout the afternoon hours. And basically, we have two weather concerns here over the next 36 hours. The first being heat. It's hot out there right now, still this evening. And tomorrow, even hotter than it was this afternoon. The heat index should top out between 103 and 110 degrees. And then the storm chance. That's for late tomorrow night and into the overnight hours. Some of those storms could have a bit of a punch, especially north of St. Louis. We're still close to 90 in the metro area right now, and the humidity has increased a bit. So these are your actual heat index values. Feeling like 93 still in Chesterfield. That's an outlying area. 98 is what it feels like right now in Jefferson City. The humidity levels increased a bit west of St. Louis. We're spreading that towards the metro area along with the core of the heat dome, which should place us close to 100 for the high and bring those heat index values from 103 to 110 degrees during the afternoon hours tomorrow. So what are we going to do? We're going to limit our time outside and our exercise in the afternoon. Make sure we're drinking plenty of water, staying hydrated, wear that light colored clothing, stay in and use the air conditioning if you can. Let's not leave the kids in the cars. Little trick there. Throw your left shoe. If you're placing your kid in the back seat, your child in the back seat, put your left shoe with your child. You won't forget that when you get out of the car, and don't forget your pets. We'll talk about that storm chance for tomorrow evening in a bit, Brent.
Certainly a good reminder there. Thank you, Scott. You can get the Weather First forecast right to your phone any time of the day. Text the word weather to 314-425-5355. New tonight, an important message for parents if your children play with toy guns. A local firearms expert is urging you to talk with them about guidelines to keep them and others safe. It follows scary moments at the AMC Theater in Creve Coeur, where a kid pulled out a pellet gun during the hottest film of the summer. Take a look at this message posted in a neighborhood social media group. Took my pregnant wife and kids to see Inside Out 2. Towards the end of the movie, a teenage kid with a ski mask stands up and flashes a colorful-looking assault rifle and starts firing at the crowd. Inside Out is a popular movie about anxiety and emotions in children. Moviegoers say it wasn't clear the teen had a toy gun until he started shooting it. Police later recovered this toy gun before arresting the teenager.
You will get a stinging sensation, especially if you're not prepared for it.
Experts at Prime Protection STL teach children the do's and don'ts of all guns, real and fake.
Take aim.
They admit these guns that dispense water beads,
and it's like a little jelly substance,
are growing in popularity, which is why instructor Armand Reed Wynn says set some ground rules.
We believe that the gun talk is the new sex talk.
And have the tough talks.
We only play with this in the basement or in the backyard. And you are not allowed to take this outside of the house because somebody could see it as a threat.
And also, he says, require children wear eyeglasses.
Eyes, especially if you are doing force-on-force play, where you got two kids with one of these, you want to make sure nobody gets their eye put out. Your eyes, your mouth, your throat, your nose, your ears, all of those things can be hurt by what we think are soft pellets.
Lastly,
is buy them as bright as possible if you're going to use this. Don't buy ones that look like real guns.
today police released the suspect. Investigators are asking if you were in the theater or someone you know were. Share that experience with them. Police are also reviewing security footage at this hour. Tonight, local leaders are sounding off about safety downtown. This after a fight turned into a deadly shooting at Market Street and 10th over the weekend, just blocks away from Busch Stadium. Police arrested a woman after they say she assaulted an officer. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski is live downtown for us. And Laura, lots of folks are concerned about safety downtown. You spent the day asking city leaders what we need to do about it.
Well, Brent, our city leaders are calling for more action at the state level and also right here at the local level. They say they want more action because this is a larger regional issue.
This is heartbreaking on so many levels.
Around 2:30 in the morning on Sunday, St. Louis police say a fight broke out between several women near City Garden at 10th and Market Streets. At some point, several men started shooting, killing one man in his mid-20s and injuring 5 others.
The victims and some of the suspects, a few of them were from the city, but they also came from St. Louis County and St. Charles County. So people are bringing guns into our city and wreaking havoc in our downtown.
St. Louis Circuit Attorney Gabe Gore says his office is ready to prosecute the suspects as soon as possible.
And we're prepared to do that in this case once the investigation is complete and an application for charges is made.
Mayor Tashara Jones says the metro area has already committed to reducing homicides by 20% over the next 3 years in the Save Lives Now initiative, but it's not enough.
The blood is on the state's hands. They need to make a change in state law to allow us to either make our own laws, or they need to consider the safety of all Missourians.
This happened in Alderwoman Kara Spencer's ward. She says a law that recently went into effect prohibiting people from openly carrying or displaying guns unless they have a concealed carry permit is part of the solution, but cracking down on unauthorized gatherings at parks could be another tool.
Our police department, it's my understanding, did clear the area about 2 hours prior to this, and keeping those areas clear of unsanctioned, unorganized gatherings is important to the public safety of all of us.
Gore says while this is tragic, it doesn't show the whole picture.
I don't think that something happening at 2:30 a.m. among a group of people who have chose to congregate illegally in a city park at that hour is indicative of, public safety in downtown.
Police are asking anyone with additional information to call Crime Stoppers at 1-866-371-TIPS. Reporting live downtown, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
All right, Laura, great work there. Tomorrow, St. Louis leaders want your feedback as they focus on making roads safer, especially at some of the most dangerous intersections. Some of the safety improvements they're looking at include resurfacing pavement and reducing lanes. Tomorrow's meeting will focus on Grand Boulevard. It's the first of 2 public meetings at the Herbert Hoover Boys and Girls Club on Grand. That's from 4 until 8 p.m. The second session is Thursday at St. Mary's High School at the same time. Well, tonight a warning for dog owners in St. Charles County. A popular dog park is now closed indefinitely. Crews discovered blue algae at the dog park in Brummelstick Park near Defiance. The CDC says pets exposed to blue-green algae may actually have some stomach pain and start vomiting or experience muscle weakness. New tonight, 2 federal judges in Missouri and Kansas have blocked parts of a student loan repayment plan. Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey filed the lawsuit earlier this month, targeting President Biden's SAVE plan. With today's ruling, it's not clear if student loan borrowers will start to see lower monthly payments, which were set to begin next month. Candidates running for Missouri Attorney General squared off in a heated debate tonight, but there was a major no-show. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is here to break it all down. He has the highlights for us now. Mark.
Hey, Brent, we're just 6 weeks away from the biggest election of Andrew Bailey's life, the first election of his life. And he ditched this high-profile event, just didn't show up. But the debate went off just fine without him, with Republican Will Scharf and Democrat Elad Gross squaring off over more than a dozen of the hottest topics in today's politics.
Today is the 2-year anniversary of the Dobbs decision.
Democrat Elad Gross described Republican abortion bans as government infringing on personal liberty.
I don't think that we should be using state force for somebody who doesn't want to have a pregnancy.
I don't believe in prosecuting women for having an abortion. I don't think the law provides for that.
Republican Will Scharf said he'd sue Planned Parenthood and supports restrictions on mifepristone, the common abortion pill used during the first 11 weeks of a pregnancy.
That's a dangerous drug. I think the overall litigation is sorely needed, and I think the FDA approval process needs to be looked at.
Scharf slammed incumbent Andrew Bailey for prioritizing his personal image over the cases on his desk.
That's not a way to run a legal office. We need to be winning in court, not winning TV appearances. What we have seen from this Attorney General's office from the start is a highly focused press operation and an absolutely abjectly failing legal operation.
Both candidates highlighted a mass exodus in top talent fleeing Bailey's office after he was appointed.
When I worked there, we had 200 attorneys working for you. It's less than half of that now.
And what did voters think of Bailey's no-show?
I was disappointed that Mr. Bailey didn't show up because I think when you're running for political office, you need to face the voters and take their questions and answer their questions.
If you're going to run for office, you have to talk to voters. You have to be willing to answer the question. You have to be willing to shed daylight on where you stand. And I respect that Mr. Scharf showed up and was willing to engage.
A recent Remington poll found Will Scharf within striking distance of Andrew Bailey, down 4 points, with 50% of Republican primary voters still undecided. And we're going to have that entire debate on KSDK.com and our YouTube page where you can find it up tomorrow.
Staying cool comes at a cost. Ahead, the 5 things you can do to help lower your energy bill this summer.
The AC definitely getting a workout this week. The hottest day of the season so far still on schedule for Tuesday, when the heat and humidity break and the opportunity for storms that comes with that change.
Fighting off a crippling cyber attack.
This has shuttered the dealerships.
How it's impacting dealerships across the St. Louis area.